Hey everyone! I am going to go over my brush collection and go over my favorite brushes that I use on a daily basis, and I'll describe a little bit about how I use them and what I use them for. So most of my brushes are from MAC. I have a lot of brushes that are not from MAC, but I only regularly use about 2 brushes that are not MAC brushes. The rest of my brushes are MAC that I use every day just because they're the highest quality brushes that I've ever used, and the only other brand of brushes that I would be interested in trying would be Sigma, but I can't buy them in a store. I would have to order them off the internet, and I'm not too excited about purchasing something that's that expensive over the internet. Even though everyone says they're great brushes, I just don't have the money to spend on something without being able to like physically look at it and touch it at the store. I have no need for additional brushes at this point, so I pretty much have what I have and I like it, and I'm not really looking to expand right now, so I thought I would share what I've got. This is the MAC 168, and it was the first MAC brush that I've ever bought, and it's held up really nicely. I mean, all of them have, so, but this one is dirty, obviously. I use it for bronzer every day to contour with, and it normally it comes like in the white, so you can kind of see it towards the bottom, the white bristles, but it's an angled contour brush like these, and I really like it because it's not too flimsy, it's not too floppy, but it's not too dense, so I think it works really well as my contour brush. The second MAC brush that I ever bought was the MAC 187, and it's the large jewel fiber brush, and I use it obviously for blush, as you can see. I bought this originally to use with my more pigmented blushes, and that's kind of what I've stuck with. I've never used this with liquid foundation. I just like using my fingers for that, so I'll use this on my blushes that are really pigmented because I'm pretty fair and I don't want to overdo anything, so this is a really nice brush to use to just get a really light coverage, I guess, of the blush. So love this one. The next face brush I have is the MAC 129, and it is a very small, I use it for blush. So as you can see, this is the front and this is the side. So it's a tiny bit wider than it is this way, I guess. So it basically just works as a regular just blush on my face. I use it with the blushes that are more sheer, I guess, so Dandelion by Benefit, and I use it for Well Dressed by MAC as well because I am pretty fair and those blushes aren't that like deeply pigmented, so I use this blush brush for it. The next MAC brush that I have that I use every single day, love it, is the MAC 150, and it's the large powder brush, and it's basically the same shape as the 129, but it's bigger. And I use this just for my powder after I put my foundation on, or if I'm not using foundation, I'll just powder my face with this brush. I love it. It works really well. Holla. And now I'm going to go over my eye brushes. I'll go over the 2 eye brushes that I have that are not from MAC first, and I'll kind of show them, tell you what I use them for, I guess. This first one is a really skinny, dense, short liner brush. And I got this from Sonia Kashuk. It was from one of the sets of brushes that you can get from her. She has them out, like, they're like limited edition sets, but from Target. And I really wanted the MAC version of this brush, but it was sold out of the MAC that I go to at the time, and I saw this at Target, and I thought, okay, I'll try this, and it works fine. I have no need for the MAC one now. But I usually use this to line underneath my lash line like this, and sometimes I'll smudge eyeliner on my top lash line with this. It's a really great brush because it's dense. It doesn't, you know, as you draw with it, it doesn't, like, the bristles don't splay out or anything. It's pretty dense. It stays like this, and it's pretty, I mean, it's pretty thick, so it's really good for the smudging of the eyeliner, not really to apply like a precise line. The next brush that I have is also from Sonia Kashuk, and it's from the regular like brush line that she has that are like individual brushes that you can buy at Target. And it's a small shader liner type brush. I don't use this as much as I use the other one by Sonia Kashuk, but whenever I do use it, I'll use it to apply liner or to smudge liner. And sometimes I'll use it to apply glitter. So you can kind of see I've got some glitter on there. That's what I use it for last. I'll like spray Fix Plus on it, and I'll pat a little bit of glitter on it, and like I'll pat it in the area that I want it on my lid. And it works really well for that. The rest of my eye brushes are MAC brushes. So I'm going to go over from smallest to largest. So the first one that I have is a MAC 211, and it's a liner brush. I've got the ends, like the sections that are right on the very edges are kind of splaying out a little bit, which I don't really like, but I use this with my Fluid Lines by MAC. Works really well. I like that it's not so precise, or not so small that it draws the tiniest little line. I like that it gives me, it's like the perfect width for me and what I like in my eyeliner, so like that one. The next one I have is the MAC 239. It looks like this. Everyone knows what it looks like. It's their eyeshadow shader brush, so I just pat my eyeshadow on with this. Sometimes I'll use a bigger brush if I'm doing just one color all over my lid, but this works really well with placing multiple colors on your lid like in one look, so like this one. This next one I have is the 226, and it kind of looks like the 224, which I'll show you in a minute, but it's a lot smaller, and it comes up to a point at the top. It looks like this. And what I use this brush for on a daily basis is to apply a color in my crease. And I usually use this one to like place the color. So I'll place the color here. I'll kind of get it like packed on where I want it, and then I'll use a different brush to blend it out. So I really like this one for the crease. This next one I have is the 217. It's really dirty, but I use this as a crease color placing brush a lot as well. And sometimes if I'm using really light colors that don't require a lot of blending, I'll use this just for my crease, just kind of sweep it in my crease, blend a little bit, and then I'm done. So I think this was the first eye brush I got from MAC, and I really love it. The next one I have is the 224 by MAC, and like I said, it's similar in shape, but not, it's more fluffy, I guess. And I don't use this brush to place any color, I just use it to blend out after I've placed color. It works really well for that, to blend out the crease, blend colors on the lid together. And sometimes I'll use this to apply a highlight shade like under my brow or in the corner, but I don't typically use this brush for that. So this was a really good brush to blend. The last brush that I have is the MAC 227, and it's this large paddle eye brush, I guess. So in comparison to the 224, that's how big it is. I use this brush every single day to apply a base color to my lid because it is so large. You can get as much product as you need on the brush for an entire lid, and you just sweep it on, and then you're pretty much done with that base color. And sometimes I just use one color on my lid, and this is perfect just to place it on. And sometimes I'll place the my highlighter shade up here. Sometimes I will use this brush to blend my crease colors out. It's a really versatile brush. I'm sure in the future I'll find other ways that I love to use this for, but right now that's what I use it for every day, just to place that color on my lid. So those were all of the brushes that I use on an everyday basis, or regular basis I should say. I hope you enjoyed seeing this, and hopefully you got some ideas on what sort of brushes that you might like to have in your collection. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment and like this video if you liked it, and I'll talk to you later.